What's cracking, traders? XehrFelrose here, bringing you some Pokemon Go Battle League content. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at a team here in the Great League that is featuring some Galarian Mattress action sent in by WamBamComboplay, who, if you Jamie Finn lovers like myself, are going to know that is a very fun name to have. Moltres here is going to have a good amount of fast move pressure into the meta, with Fly and Brave Bird being two very strong hitting flying type attacks with this Galarian Mattress. And we're going to have a Gastrodon in the lead. And Gastrodon is really focusing on the Mud Slap, but it's really appreciating the pacing advantage now that it gets with the buffed Mud Slap, or pacing with Mud Slap to Water Pulse, because of the fact that Water Pulse had its energy decreased at the season start. And in the back, because it's Empoleon season, and this is literally the best Pokemon in the meta, may as well be somewhere on every team because it's just that good. Empoleon, very dynamic and a very quick pacing Pokemon here, and has very efficient charge moves. This thing is just tailor-made to be really good right now. Well, let's get into the first battle here. We're going to have our Gastrodon. And you get to get some more Peko, bro. This is a great lead. What are you talking about? This is fine. Oh, and then we're going to see the Galarian Mattress swap in here to counter the opponent's Scizor. And Scizor is looking to be putting some pressure on, not with the energy, but with the bullet punches after going for this Trailblaze. The opponent now is going to have to make a decision. Do they want to shield the Scizor or take the shield advantage that they've gotten? The opponent is going to just let the Scizor go. However, Morpeko gets to come in, and unfortunately, Morpeko is now going to have to take a fly. They did overfarm by just a wee bit too much. And now Galarian Mattress is now getting the shield. Now the opponent's going to be able to get a full farm down, though. And unless they have Seed Bomb, though, this might not be a problem for Gastrodon, which can freely come in and take a move, even if it is a Seed Bomb. Like, they can take that. The opponent only going for the Aura Wheel. That's not going to do very much. It is resisted. However, they are going to be able to go for another one very quickly, and they do so. Gastrodon going to be looking to put up the shield because we absolutely have to get rid of this thing immediately. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. The opponent now going to make a switch into their Quagsire, and I think that this is going to be an interesting game to be won here. Now, the opponent has the super effective Mud Shots, but most Quagsires are going to be running Aqua Tail, Stone Edge, which is energy that the Empoleon can very easily enjoy taking one of. However, two might be a tall order here. The opponent's got a Shadow Quagsire. They're going to be looking to go for the Stone Edge. That is going to almost allow him to get to they'll allow the Empoleon to get to another move. Unfortunately, the Aqua Tail is reached, and it is going to be enough here. The opponent going to come in with a Morpeko, try to catch a move, but instead they catch these hands, and Water Pulse, it might do enough to take out the Shadow Quagsire here. Not quite, but can we get to the Body Slam? Yes, because we had all that energy from that farming of the Morpeko. Now we have the Body Slam to go for the win here. Very nicely done. Gastrodon taking a clutch victory. Next battle against Shadow Empoleon in the lead. Gastrodon loves to see these and the electrics that are oh so common. The opponent safe switches into a Galarian Corsola, and Galarian Moltres is going to come right in to show it right out. Here's the door, Corsola, you're gone. We're done. You only get to land one Power Gem in this matchup, and then just go ahead and get the farm down here. Unfortunately, excuse me, the energy here is not going to be very well utilized into the Empoleon. However, the threat of a Brave Bird looms, and unfortunately not quite able to get there. WamBamComboplay is going to have to settle for a fly, but Galarian Mattress has done its job. The opponent down about half HP, and the opponent now comes in with their Komao. And then comes Empoleon. It does have the steel type coverage move in the Metal Sound. Very nice and fast pacing in this format, because it's just got so much pressure with these charge moves. Drill Peck and Hydro Cannon is such a potent combination of typings, and to get to them so quickly is really what has elevated Empoleon to just such a masterclass status. Now the opponent, however, has the opportunity to go for some debuffs. I think, I don't know, if, what does Upper Hand do? It's debuffing something. I don't remember what it debuffs though. Let me know in the comments, because I completely missed this move. Like, I didn't even look at it because nothing good had it. But we're going to be going for the CMP tie here. Unfortunately, Komao looking to be able to go for possibly back-to-back moves here. That's going to be a real problem. And nope, you can't go for the back-to-back. If we CMP tie, maybe it was all part of the plan. Going to be going for the Body Slam, taking it out. Whatever's left here. Hopefully, Empoleon can't get to a charge move, but he can. That's going to result in a loss, unfortunately. They turn the tables on us, and now the Empoleon gets in for the move. Gastrodon into a Venusaur. Well, this is definitely not what you wanted to see. Safe switch into the Empoleon, which, by the way, gets to this Drill Peck before the opponent can get to their Frenzy Plant. And now Venusaur is sweating, looking to try and hopefully not have to shield, but they do. Unfortunately, that puts them down an early shield. And now the Empoleon is going to be able to win the pacing war. The opponent does full send, and then they're going to drop in their Lapras after being able to have done some fast move pressure to hopefully make this a little bit more manageable for the Lapras that swapped in. I believe it was a Shadow Lapras, was it not? That is saucy. I love it. Shadow Lapras is going to be looking to do a little bit of damage here with the Sparkling Aria, but I don't even think it's going to be enough to quite get a knockout here. That means that now in comes the Galarian Mattress. It's going to be able to start going for these sucker punches, double resisting the opponent's Psy Waves. Do we shield the Ice Beam? They do. They go for the shield, but it's just an Aria, it looks like. The opponent going to have to go for a move now before we can get to this, but no, we're just going to go ahead and go for the move here. Fly is going to be reached and taking... Oh my god, they caught it on a freaking pancake! Oh, that's dirty! Oh, that's dirty. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Be a swap, please, thank you! Oh, thank goodness we can swap into the Gastrodon. The very sickeningly thought of Mattress going down to that. It's just easier, man. I can't even say it right half the time. Like, at this point, the Galarian Mattress, by the way, if I know you have caught it on by now, I was going to see if I go the whole video with people not noticing. Is an old just slip of the tongue that's just become an inside joke on the channel. Now we're going to see the opponent, however, going to have to go for multiple Vine Whips here to get to another charge move. They're not quite there, or they need... I mean, they got to go for it. Okay, we go for the play! Yes! We go for the drill... Drill Peck. I don't know if it's a Blaze Kick. I don't know where Blaze Kick would have come from, but the opponent in shambles now. Lapras is going to come in and get the Psy Wave down. Wait a minute, that's dangerous! We have a charge... No, they don't have a charge move. Oh, man. That was a close one. I was... lost for half of it. Things happen so fast, but here we go. Very nice win. I was very impressed with that game. That was very nicely done. The opponent now having a somewhat positive lead here because they have the ability to pace with these shadow punches, and it's a shadow. We can't really go for body slam. However, landing one water pulse in that matchup does make it a lot easier for the Gastrodon to farm down afterwards. But opponent just has a Togekiss. Of course they do, because Togekiss is extremely strong in this season. It's also on almost every other team. Moltres is going to be letting loose the Brave Bird here. The opponent's forced to shield, and that peck down might be helpful for him unless they were against an Empoleon. And Empoleon is, however, going to be able to get to a move, but not before the opponent's going to be able to reach that Aura Sphere. That is going to do a lot of super effective damage, and it forces the shield off the Empoleon. The opponent now going to come back in with his Dusclops, and Dusclops gets to a move just before their WamBamComboplay is able to fire off their move, and now we're going for the Hydro Cannon right away just in case the opponent wants to pull any shenanigans. We want to get this damage in. Can Galarian Mattress, avenged from the fallen, going to be able to get the Mud Slap. He's just sitting there and the ball resting, but it's like, you can do it, guys. The opponent going to come back in with the Togekiss, and now Gastrodon's looking to unleash this Water Pulse, trying to take it out. The opponent doesn't shield. They come in with the Dragonite. Shambles! Shambles! They just farmed down this whole Gastrodon. Empoleon is going to have to go down to the... Wait. The opponent has thrown energy. The opponent, wait, I do not repeat, this is not a drill. The opponent has thrown a charge move, and now we're going to be able to get some damage in. This could enable Empoleon to get a farm down. This is not the way. The opponent going to have to... Yes, that's it. That's it. Drill Peck takes him out. Good game, making the WamBamComboplay of their own. Well played, very nicely done. Trainers living up to their name in that. Let me get some more of those. Yes, please. Gastrodon on the lead against Corviknight again because of Water Pulse. This isn't as bad as... Trainer got Steel Wing! Trainer gets a TM. Steel Wing is no. I'm sorry. If you're running Corviknight, definitely make sure that you're running Sand Attack. Unfortunately, they nerfed Steel Wing to do much less as far as energy generation. It just takes you at least a year, and maybe a year and a half. I mean, I'll see you guys after next Christmas at this point if you're looking to play Steel Wing on your Corviknight. Just TM it to Sand Attack. You thank me later. All right. Opponent going to be looking to go for some damage, though. They're going to full send a Sky Attack here. The opponent now brings in an Altaria. Are they triple flyer? Are they super weak now to this Empoleon? This could be a problem for the opponent here. Altaria is not going to be able to get to 2 energy, or get to 2... Enough, dude, it did that thing where my brain just fused 2 sentences. I was going to say, it's not enough for it to get to 2 charge moves. Jeez. Anyway, We have drill pecks loaded. The Altaria is not going to be able to get to 2 flamethrowers in time for them to be able to salvage this matchup. And so now the Empoleon's going to be able to go for its own charge move here. The opponent has that Corviknight in the back, but the opponent wants to invest a Protect Shield in this Altaria. And at this point, I think WamBamComboplay is hoping that this is the opponent's only answer to the Galarian Moltres, and they're going to come in with it and hope that this... Oh my god, they have a Bastion! All right, we're putting everything on the back. Oh, dude, if the opponent had Sand Attack, I genuinely think they might have won this game because the Gastrodon would have had to take so much damage otherwise. This Water Pulse is going to give Gastrodon the opportunity it needs to be able to flip this game, as the opponent is double weak to the Mud Slap with this Steel Rock typing. Bastion having a bad day and says, I quit, I'm done, I'm going home. And that's a good game, well played. Taking it. Ooh, that's a 4-1. That's extremely nice. We're getting into the next game. What is this? What's up, honey? All right, trainers are back. My daughter needed some help getting through a part of her playthrough of Shining Pearl. So we're getting into the next battle here. We have another one? No! Not again! In comes the Empoleon, able to get to the drill peck quickly. The opponent trying to get them caught off guard, though. And now we're not falling for it. The opponent going to go for a Hydro Cannon here. This is a non-shadow on non-shadow, non-crime violent sort of situation. And we can easily live one and have plenty of HP. The opponent will always have to land a second one, but again, so will we. If we want to, we can win this matchup. However, because we are ahead on energy, we always get to the Hydro Cannon one before. Empoleon here. Empoleon here looking to go for another Hydro Cannon. The opponent throws a charge move here, and now we're going to see Empoleon put up a shield here, the first of this match, to be able to get the edge in this game, to try and keep switch advantage or flip it potentially, as Galarian Moltres would be much nicer to have. And the opponent's going to go for the shield here. Now, we could shield and get switch advantage. And it looks like Empoleon's going to go for it. Empoleon's still going to have, I mean, a lot of energy and does not get knocked out by one thing. The opponent knows that, and they're bringing in the Venusaur. And now we are going to see this damage. This is going to do so much damage. The opponent, however, has the move. And that could be a Sludge or a Sludge Bomb. We'll have to find out. The opponent going for the charge move. And that looked like a Sludge to me. Does the opponent get to another? They do not. And Galarian Moltres has energy. The opponent comes in with a Charizard. Charizard not going to appreciate having to take a fly. It is a very glassy Pokemon. And Empoleon, I do believe, also still has a charge move banked in the back. Now we're going to see the opponent looking to go for a charge move here. Not, oh my goodness, they almost, that was very nice counting. Getting just as they got to that move. Going for the air cutter here that gets the knockout. And now in comes Gastrodon. And now we're going for the take him off guard play with the real nice combo play. This is going to take out the opponent's Charizard. They were not expecting that. Empoleon low HP getting farmed down, and that's a great game. Well played. All right, we got the next game up here. We're going to see Gastrodon on the lead versus that's a very nice lead against an Alolan Sandslash. I miss Alolan Sandslash. It was so much fun, man. I miss using it. Now we're going to see the opponent not fall for this. They're going to go for a move on 5. That could be a Rock Slide. That's a risk that did not pay off. And the opponent full sends the Rock Slide. That is going to allow the Galarian Moltres to be able to get a lot of energy here, and they're going to say that we hopefully live one more move. The opponent goes for the Rock Slide. That is going to be survivable. The opponent, however, has the option to get to a Bone Club, and I think that our player knows that WamBamComboplay is making sure they do not get to the next charge move here to force another shield. Now the opponent's going to come back in with the Alolan Sandslash, and Galarian Mattress is going to look to flatten this thing out with a Fly. That's not going to do very much damage, though, unfortunately. And the opponent's on Shadow Claw, which makes things just a little bit worse for us here because they get even more energy than we wanted. Now the opponent's going to be able to go for one of those charge moves, do quite a bit of damage, and now bring in the Azumarill. However, hello, good to see you. We have your number, Azumarill. The Empoleon comes in and it resists the entire moveset of Azumarill and is going to be able to apply quick hitting, heavy pressure on this Azumarill going for these drill packs. Going to let this first move go. Never really need to shield. This Azumarill is going to have a very, very bad day, and this is the kind of matchup that helps you get your edge in a close game. The opponent having something that is such a dominantly good matchup for the thing in the back that needs that energy. WamBamComboplay is having a great time right now, but to be able to shrug off one more move on the Empoleon if they so choose, but they do have to be careful of the opponent's send slash in the back. Just like that, comes in very nicely done. The timing of that response was amazing. Now we're going to see the opponent get the shield though, however, but Gastrodon's got enough energy, and these body slams hopefully will do good enough to get this thing down into a range where it will get knocked out. The opponent fearing the earth power. That's exactly what WamBamComboplay needs, because right about now, I'm expecting a WamBamComboplay. The Empoleon's not available yet. Never mind, we can't do it. That's okay. In comes the Empoleon going for that drill peck. This should do enough damage to knock it out, and that's going to be a good game. Well played. Yes, sir. There you go. Good game. Good job, baby. She got the galactic key. That's where she was looking for. Now she can go. Shift tree. Oh, yeah, buddy, bring it. The opponent has a shift tree, and my spice meter is cracked open. Empoleon swaps in as a safe switch and looks to get an early shield from the shift tree, but I don't think that's going to help it because it's a non-shadow shift tree. Just maybe this won't do too much damage. Leaf Blade does do a lot, though. The opponent going to bring in what looks to be, that was a rollout user. I think it was Dunsparce. No, it's Licky Licky. Okay, not very good with foreign tongues. I'm going to completely admit that. All right, the opponent is going to be throwing a charge move here. That is just a body slam. Empoleon does unfortunately go down to that, but now the Gastrodon can come in and get a lot of energy here. Can throw a move if they're afraid of the Solar Beam. The opponent doesn't even build up to a potential Solar Beam, and therefore we are okay with this. Going to go for the Shadow Ball. The opponent now getting pretty low here. We could go for a bit of energy to get this. Oh my goodness, they almost get the snipe with the Moltres, but this is only ever a body slam. This is good redirection of the energy. We've also got the Shadow Ball catch. Never mind, but the opponent has an Azumarill, and that is not going to be good news for us here because we have to go for Brave Birds to really offer meaningful damage, and I don't know if this Moltres is going to be able to get there in time. However, we do have 2 shields, and maybe this is the play. Just let the Galarian Moltres sort it out for us. The opponent's going to go for that Ice Beam as they would expect them to. We might see some dancing around here as this 45-second switch timer is really throwing me for a loop, to be honest. People are catching real quick. I'm still trying to get used to it. Opponent lets that go, however, and there's a WamBamComboplay right there. There we got the body slam to get the shield, or the opponent's Azumarill is going to go down, and now in comes the Gastrodon's going to have to face body slam here because in comes the Shiftry, and Shiftry, are they going to go for it? Yes, absolutely they are, but now this is it. Do they have 2 moves? If they do, it's all over, man. They're going for the body slam. The body slam is reached. The opponent on Snarl not quite able to get to that next Leaf Blade for the knockout, and Shiftry's taken down, and in comes the Azumarill, but it has a move. But Moltres, there's no way they can have 2 charge moves, and Moltres can get the move, get one fast. No, it's 2. Oh, man, that was a close game. Let's go. Good game, dude. Well played. Galarian Moltres could just come in, sucker punch down, and take that one. That was the line. There it is. All right, next game. Galarian Corsola, very bulky neutral lead here, having to go for those water pulses to do damage in this matchup, but you get to him pretty quick now, and now the opponent's going to be throwing the Nightshade. We catch on the Galarian Moltres. The energy gets redirected. If that's a Nightshade, that's going to be huge. That's going to be real nice here. Opponent is going to come in with a Cordilli, and unfortunately, because they're behind, I believe, on energy, they were 1 behind. This mattress is going to be able to get to the move here before the opponent can, and now it can pace as well if it wants to. The opponent is going to have to draw the first Protect Shield here to get through this Moltres. Moltres looking to go for another charge move here. Will win the charge attack priority, and if the opponent wants to give this up, they sure will. This is a shield. They got to win it, right? Yep. They want to get this. They want to get the second shield, or they want to get rid of the Galarian Moltres. Opponent is going to get the Galarian Moltres knocked out here, going back to his Pokeball for a nice and well-deserved rest. And in comes the Empoleon comes in to get this farm down, not having to take the charge move damage, potentially. I don't think it had enough for a move anyway. But here comes the Corsola, going to be able to go for a Hydro Cannon. This hits pretty hard, and now we're going to see the damage of a non-shadow Empoleon onto the Corsola. Not quite enough here, but we're going to be able to go for another WamBamComboplay! And Water Pulse is going to be going off here. That's going to get the shield from the opponent. They're in a pretty sticky situation. WamBamComboplay living up to their name, being able to get these shields left and right with these wonderfully orchestrated combo energy plays that are just so exciting to watch, man. And now we're going to see the opponent come in with a Jirachi. That's not what this water pulsing Mud Slapper wants to see with this low HP, but fortunately we're able to get to the Water Pulse and do a ton of damage in the process. And Empoleon with a shield can easily just get to a charge move here, and that's going to take the game. Well played. Wow, that was a very nice win. That's exactly what she needed, was a no-shield Jirachi. We take those, man. Good game. All right, we're getting into the finale here, the last game of the two. No, yes, there it is. Okay, the transition has been made. The game is set. The match is won. We have a nice lead here. This little pancake is staying in. No, they go out. Okay, they just, I don't know why they would. Okay, all right. Napoleon comes in to greet the Corviknight, however. Galarian Moltres is a good thing to be able to take this matchup with as well, but perhaps that was a sense of a bait out by WamBamComboplay, just bringing the Napoleon in here to play this matchup instead. Being able to go for a shield and just have a ton of extra energy is very nice in this matchup. Not going for an overfarm here. We don't want to take any chances. The opponent is going to have to shield up if they want to keep this Corviknight, but they do not. And now in comes the opponent's Stunfisk. However, that one, we were just talking about why would they go for one? This is why they want to be able to get to that charge move. They drew out the Empoleon successfully, and the move is not enough. We could still go for the mud. No, we could still go for the Hydro Cannon here and be able to do heavy damage to the opponents. Never mind, that's not a Stunfisk. That's an Empoleon. And Empoleon is going to get completely farmed down. The opponent is critically weak to Mud Slap here, and Gastrodon senses that this is going to be the hardest hitting move left in the game, and at this point these Protect Shields don't matter, and neither does the opponent. It's just like, nope, I'm not doing this. That's it. I'm good. Well played. Good game. Gastrodon laying down the law in that last one. Really nice, dude. I love Galarian Moltres. Another nice set, dude. That was a 5-0. Let's go. What a nice climb to start off in the early season with. These always feel good, man. Galarian Moltres, a favorite pick of mine. I finally got one last season with that research that gave one. I think it was a paid research, though. I don't know if I felt like it was a nice thing, but I needed to have one, man. I just don't have any under 1,500 because I can't get them on my incense. They just refuse to appear. Anyway, let me know in the comments what your favorite dark type is to play this meta. I think that Galarian Moltres and also Guzzlord recently have made some pretty strong showings for contending to be able to beat some of the ghosts in this meta. I'll let you guys go, and we'll catch you guys when the Ultra League turns around. Thank you as always for watching. Bye-bye.